Oh, what is up, guys? It is the TikTok Bayless, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Mind Your Business. I am Bryce, aka the TikTok Bayless, and I am joined alongside by.
I'm Kenny Charles, and today we're talking about the AFC East, a little bit of NFL news, and of course, we have more trivia with the TikTok Bayless. And to end it all off, we have the all AFC East team, and we're going to be kind of creating a little Madden team to put on here too, just for some extra fun. So starting off with news in the NFL. The biggest news by far, I believe, is going to be the Trevor Lawrence deal. Bryce, do you have much opinion on T-Law, the Prince, getting his bag of money?
I could see why people would think it's a ridiculous contract. Yes, he hasn't really done much. If you look at a guy like Justin Herbert, who everybody critiques and thinks is the absolute horrible contract, Justin Herbert still has a better record as a starter than Trevor Lawrence does. The only difference is the one playoff win against the two. I do think Trevor Lawrence is fantastic, but I don't think the contract is really all that bad because you pay your quarterbacks, especially in today's league. If you have a guy who you think is your long-term starter, you lock him up. So this deal right now may be the highest contract ever, but we've seen quarterbacks sign record high contracts, and then a week later, it's broken. So this contract may not be that big. We look last offseason, Daniel Jones signed the biggest contract in NFL history, and then Joe Burrow said, "Hold my beer," signed a 53 million annual contract. So this contract could be tiny next week because Dak is rumored to get a contract now. Tua's on the contract market. Justin Herbert needs an extension. So
yes, it will be outdone. That's what happens.
Yeah.
But do you want the Jacksonville Jaguars to repeat the Giants' mistake, paying too much for a quarterback? Trevor Lawrence, the big thing is he does not have the wide receiver weapons that a lot of these other big-time quarterbacks have. Joe Burrow has Chase. Tua has Tyreek and Waddle. Herbert had Keenan and Mike Williams. So I can see, obviously, Josh Allen had Diggs. Patrick Mahomes has Travis. So a lot of these quarterbacks do have these big weapons to kind of play with. I would say Christian Kirk is not that big weapon. Calvin Ridley could have been if he didn't gamble. We might have seen a little bit different thing from him, but that is what it is. I think it's an overpay, but I think the Jaguars, they're desperate for a quarterback long term, and this is what they have to do. So good for them for understanding they don't want to go back to the well and do it all over again. Small news maybe for the NFL, big news for people probably our age and younger. Madden, big news coming out there. I think you know a little bit more about it than I do. I knew the cover. I know that you can play it kind of soon, but we have Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey, the best running back in the league, as the cover of Madden 25. It sounds like you can pre-order the MVP edition.
MVP bundle. It's on sale right now for $135. If you pre-order the MVP bundle, you get College Football 25 and you get Madden, which it's pre-orders, so it always comes with like Ultimate Team stuff, which I don't know if anybody plays Ultimate Team. I know I don't anymore. But Madden 25 just dropped their breakdown today, and it looks like they just announced that Team Builder is coming to Madden for the first time. We've seen team creation. The creation suite used to be a thing in Madden. They took it away, and then they had no ability to do custom teams, and then they brought it back a few years ago with relocation and stupid teams. Now, I think they're realizing with college football coming out and the fact that college football has had a history of you being able to use Team Builder and make your own school, and they're going to realize they're going to lose money on Madden if they don't incorporate that, because Madden's gameplay, Madden has always paled in comparison to NCAA football because of the fact that you can create your own school. You can create, if you wanted to, you can create Minnetonka University. And you can't really do that in Madden because there's pre-made teams pre-made custom teams, you don't even have any say over. Although they did and let you incorporate any team with any city now. They used to have the preset 3 teams for each city. Now you can choose any team anywhere that in these set cities, which I like it now because it gives you the option to put a team anywhere, make your own team. But it looks like they're going to do the thing that NCAA football used to do, and that's you have to take the team away and replace it into the team builder, which people are complaining about that. But that's kind of a thing that they're complaining that Madden did it, but NCAA football did the same thing where they take a team away, you take that team's history, and now you become that school. Where my only complaint is I wish you would be allowed to add a 33rd or 34th team like 2K does, where you can add up to 6 expansion teams, and it's a totally new team, totally new franchise and everything. That's my only complaint. I did hear the tackling is going to be better. There's a new boom system. I haven't read in depth about that. I just really saw the team builder thing or the team creation thing, and I really had to look at it. So, because I like custom teams. Anytime I do any franchise, MLB The Show, I do it. 2K, I do it. So now it's kind of nice to see. NHL, I do it. So it's kind of nice to see that it's made its way to Madden. So
I've learned I'm super lazy because that sounds like way too much work for me. Way too much. Like great for the people that like it. I mean, adding more features is what companies should do. Good on EA Sports for doing that. Hopefully, it's a better Madden. I say that every year,
we'll
and
see.
I play it every single year. So not much I can really complain about, I guess.
It's been trashed since Madden 12.
Yeah, but I've played it every single year. That is what happens. Yeah. But I love football. Yeah. I love football.
They could have done nothing, and we would have bought it.
Yeah, we'd have paid. Yeah. So everybody, it is time for the TikTok Bayless to test out his trivia knowledge. We're doing running backs today. The most 100-yard games by running backs, the top 10. Do you think you know them?
Yes. I feel like Emmitt Smith has to be number 1 because he's the all-time rushing leader in NFL history.
78 games with 100 yards rushing. He is number 1.
Eric Dickerson has to be on this list because Eric Dickerson was an absolute monster. He has the all-time single game rushing record. He's the all-time single season rushing record. No, he doesn't. Adrian Peterson is the single game rushing record with like 298 or something. Yes. But Eric Dickerson has to be on this list.
Yes, number 4 with 64.
Which brings me to the player I just mentioned, Adrian Peterson. He's got to be on this list because peak Adrian Peterson, there was not a running back better.
He is number 8 with 56. You're getting a little close on the edge down there.
LaDainian Tomlinson has to be on this list.
Number 10 with 47 games over 100 yards rushing.
The lowest guy. Barry Sanders is Barry on this list.
Number 3, 76.
Yeah. So I have 1, 3, 4, 8, and 10, right?
Yep.
Oh my God. Sean Alexander? Is Sean Alexander on this list?
No, he is not.
That's why I was surprised. I was like, oh, Priest Holmes. Is Priest Holmes on this list?
Priest Holmes is not on this list. You're missing probably one of your favorite running backs of the last 30 years, I'd have to assume, based on the
Derrick Henry? Is it Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry's not on there. But a team that your team, their best running back of the last 30 years.
Edgerrin James?
Edgerrin James, yes, he is on the list at number 6 with 57.
Is Marshall Faulk on this list?
Marshall Faulk is not on the list. I believe he is just off of the list, if I'm correct. Yeah, he's not.
Jim Brown count? Is Jim Brown in this list?
He is not on this list. You have another one that retired in the early 2000s, historic running back, big monster of a guy that doesn't catch passes. You have Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith's biggest competitor for best running back of the 90s. Or 80s and 90s. And then we got somebody that has a lot of kids. I believe. Oh, I could have messed that up. I believe he has a lot of kids. Who would be... Well, the other one is a Patriot. He was a Patriot.
Is it Curtis Martin?
Curtis Martin is on the list, right below Edge. We have, I believe he was a Jaguar mostly. I could
Fred
be wrong.
Taylor.
Fred Taylor, correct.
He was also a Patriot towards the end of his career, also.
Yeah. Then we have
Fred
the
Taylor, underrated.
We have somebody with 61. He retired after a Super Bowl.
Jerome Bettis?
The bus, yes. And now you're missing number 2, who is one of the greatest running backs of all time.
The Juice, O.J. Simpson.
No, he did not make the list.
Walter Payton.
Huh?
Walter Payton?
Yes, it is Sweetness.
Yeah.
This was 77. Look, interesting enough. So Emmitt Smith had 78 games, 100 yards rushing. In those games, he had 9,900 yards total. Sweetness and Barry, with obviously less, almost eclipsed him by 1,000 yards. They had 10,200 and 10,600 respectively. And then Adrian Peterson in his 56 had 8,000 yards, which eclipsed Edge and the Bettis. So his peak was clearly higher.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of people that I found interesting that were like way down there was like Tiki Barber, Sean Alexander, LaShawn McCoy. I'd assume they had more. They're down in the 30s, but I guess lower spans. Derrick Henry only has 38 games, which seems crazy.
Surprising.
In those 38 games, though, he has almost 6,000 yards. So
makes sense.
He goes up.
He goes up. Yeah.
But here we go. AFC East time. We're gonna have the Patriots at number 1. Me and Bryce, I am sure. We will start it off with the TikTok Bayless and his 4th place team in the AFC East.
So I think with 4th place, it really comes to no surprise if you look at your hoodie that says the New England Patriots right there. I think the New England Patriots are going to finish last because they don't have really anybody to throw to. You look at their roster, their biggest receiving threat is Hunter Henry. And if Hunter Henry is
great.
if Hunter Henry is great, but if he's your biggest receiving threat,
best tight end in the AFC East.
Yeah, because this is not a great tight end division. It's not. It's not. Like we did the research. We both did the research for the all AFC East team, and there's nothing at tight end for the AFC East at all outside of Buffalo with Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. There's absolutely nothing. Tyler Conklin is underrated, but he's not Hunter Henry. He's not Hunter Henry, Dawson Knox, or Dalton Kincaid good.
Yeah.
He's not. But that defense is still elite. I don't care what anyone says. New England's defense is still elite, but the offensive side of the ball is absolutely atrocious. Drake May is going to be in trouble this year. However, I do see a world where Drake May leads the Patriots to multiple Super Bowls and proceeds to screw my adult life as a Colts fan, just like they screwed my kid life as a Colts fan. But I'd much rather see a Patriots dynasty than a Kansas City dynasty because at least I'm used to the New England Patriots screwing me up the rear instead of Kansas City. So
I think I'm going to be a little crazy here. I'm going to be the TikTok Bayless in every other take. I do not have the Patriots 4th. I have the Buffalo Bills are going to be trash, in my opinion. I think Stefon Diggs leaving, that defense was like wiped clean. Who are they throwing the ball to? Gabe Davis left. You talk about the Patriots having a bad offense. At least we're used to the Patriots having a bad offense. At least they have a good defense. The Bills, we don't know what that defense will be. All they have is Josh Allen. They have Josh Allen running around. It's going to be rookie Josh Allen all over again, failing and getting destroyed. And if there's a lot of snow in the forecast, Buffalo's going down. I have the Buffalo Bills as my 4th place team. There's no defense. There is no defense. There's no weapons to throw the ball to outside of Kincaid and Knox. So I like my 3rd place team, the Patriots, a lot better. They have Stevenson. They can run the ball. They have a great defense. I think their defense rivals the Jets as the best defense in this division, and they just have to run the ball, play defense. It'll be like 2001 all over again. They just need somebody to be Troy Brown. That's all they need. If you look at those first 2000 to 2004, the offense didn't matter. It was just run the ball, play defense. The Patriots can do that to third place in the division this year. Who's your third place team, Mr. TikTok Bayless? Take a breath. You're okay.
Oh my God, I never thought I would be that flabbergasted at anything that came out of somebody's sports mouth that wasn't mine. What?
Coming from Christian McCaffrey's the 35th best running back in the NFL.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my God. I think people are forgetting the 2020 Buffalo Bills were their number one receiver and number one target in general because Dawson Knox wasn't there yet, was John Brown and Cole Beasley. And they made the playoffs and beat the Colts in 2020.
One of the best slot wide receivers of the last 20 years.
I mean, I'll take Cole Beasley and John. Yeah, but they're not. He's had this receiving core is a little better. I'll take them over. I'll take their current receiving core over John Brown and Cole Beasley. And they have two tight ends to throw to. We may see Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid get at least 800-900 yards each this year.
Okay.
And then Josh Allen is going to be Josh Allen. Josh Allen is probably the second or third best quarterback in the entire league.
Hey, I remember 2018, 2017. That Josh Allen was not great. So Diggs came into the world and his life changed completely. It was like night and day. Like 60% completion percentage up to like 70, like 15 touchdowns up to 35, like changed dramatically. He was running for his life back then. Maybe that'll happen again, but that's what I see. Are the Buffalo Bills your third place team?
No, I have the Miami Dolphins as my third place team in the AFC East because I am not a believer in Tua. I've never been a believer in Tua, and I won't be a believer in Tua. I won't. It's not possible. Like, he's not. He's got no arm strength. He's always hurt. He is holding out right now for a contract that, quite frankly, he doesn't deserve. He really doesn't. He has no playoff wins. He can't beat good teams. And the AFC East is riddled with good teams, the Patriots included. The Dolphins are not sweeping the Patriots. They're going to get 0-2'd against the Bills, and they're going to get 0-2'd against the Jets. That's 5 guaranteed losses right there. They will lose 5 games in the AFC East. They're going to go 1-1 against the Bills, 0-2 against the Jets, and 0-2 against the Bills. And they're going to play other good teams, and they are going to get demolished because they can't beat good teams because they have no track record of beating good teams. And it's all because of Tua. Tua's very limited in what he can do. Tua's only good because he has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And Raheem Mostert. That is an offensive-friendly team. It's an offensive-friendly team. Any player can succeed in that team. Look at Robbie Chosen. The game he started, he went off last year. Robbie Anderson has not had a great game since 2017 with the New York Jets.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously having those weapons helps, but are they going to have those weapons this year?
They will, but who knows? Jalen Waddle's hurt sometimes. Tyreek Hill's missed a few games here and there. Tua never stays healthy. Who's their backup? Mike White? Skylar Thompson?
Yeah, I would rather have Tyreek Hill 8 games, Jalen Waddle the other 8 games, than Dawson Knox for 16 games. That's my opinion, but I see your point. The only thing I would say is Tua's completion percentage without Tyreek is still higher than Josh Allen's without Stefon Diggs by a substantial margin. So substantial. It's like 7 points, the difference. Tua is much more accurate than Josh Allen. But that is neither here nor there. You can go to your second place team.
Before I go to my second place team, I just pulled up Josh Allen's stats from 2020, the year before he got Stefon Diggs. 69.2 completion percentage.
That would have
4,000.
been that's his Stefon Diggs year.
They made the playoffs in 2020 against the Colts without Stefon Diggs.
I'm almost positive Stefon Diggs left the Vikings the summer of 2020.
Let's check this. Let's go to Houston because that's where Stefon Diggs is now. Yeah, 2020. Never mind. He was there 2020. But still, Josh Allen had 20 touchdowns before Josh.
20-9 with a 58% completion percentage.
With no receivers to throw to. And
20 touchdowns is pretty bad as an NFL quarterback.
I'm not buying the argument that Stefon Diggs made Josh Allen. I'm not. I won't.
We went from 52 to 58. He was what? He averaged 55% completion percentage before Stefon Diggs. After 67.5. He averaged 15 touchdowns up to 36. He averaged a QBR of 79 up to 100. With Stefon Diggs and without, pretty big difference.
Yeah, but look at the last 8 games of the season this year when Stefon Diggs did absolutely nothing and Josh Allen went off and pretty much single-handedly. Yeah, they probably would have.
His passing stats fell off a cliff too. I mean, he only had 29 touchdowns. He had 20 interceptions or something. It was 18 maybe. I think it might have been 18. Either way, he wasn't the statistical monster without Stefon Diggs. And Stefon Diggs was still getting double covered, taken away from the other half of the field. And he had Gabe Davis, who is also no longer there.
Yeah, but Gabe Davis, you get one game for the entire year where he goes off, and then
1 or 2 games,
16 where he goes nothing.
But
so the second place team, I'm going to go with the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers. It solely depends on Aaron Rodgers playing and being healthy, because if Aaron Rodgers goes down, I see a world where they win 8-9 games. Because that defense is good, and Tyrod Taylor is a better quarterback than people think. But I think with Aaron Rodgers, it gives them a 11 to 13 win range. Because when's the last time we've seen Aaron Rodgers without weapons do nothing?
Yeah,
it's never happened. Aaron Rodgers is just that damn good. Where he made he won a playoff game with Jeff Janis catching a Hail Mary at the end of a game. And then Jared Abbrederis, the next play, catching a touchdown, a Hail Mary touchdown, to send the next game, to almost beat the Cardinals, to send them to overtime. Jared Abbrederis catching that Hail Mary to end the regulation to tie the game. He makes nobodies into great receivers. That's why Alan Lazard got a big contract. That's why Randall Cobb is still around. That's why MVS is around as long as he is, because Aaron Rodgers was throwing him the ball.
I concur. That is why I have Miami at 2. I think Miami's making the playoffs. Their offense is too good. Simply too good. Double-headed running back game. They have 3 wide receivers, 2 of which are ones, I believe. I think Waddle is right around that 10 to 14 range for wide receivers in the league. A lot of teams, he would be a number 1 wide receiver. So I think the weapons are great. 2 is accurate enough to get them the ball, as we've seen, wherever it is. The defense, it should be good. I mean, that defense, they have Ramsey, Howard. I'm missing their safety at the moment.
David Howard's gone.
Oh, he left?
Yeah, they cut him. They cut him in March.
So. I guess I missed that. But either way, they still have Ramsey, I'm assuming. So
they do.
So another reason to have them at 2 instead of number 1, which is clear. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in that division. I think he's still a top 5 quarterback in the league. Talent-wise, I think he's the most talented quarterback that's ever played the game. His ego is what it is, but he's also legendary. I think if everybody just took his personality off of everything and took away Super Bowls where nobody knew how many Super Bowls anybody had ever won, most of his statistics on a per game basis, on a per season basis, they'd have him at number 1 or number 2. He is elite all time, and he has Garrett Wilson, who I think is extremely underrated. He's never had a quarterback throw him the ball. Like, I don't want to be too mean to the frat boy looking pretty boy
MILF
that's now in
Hunter.
Denver, but he's not an NFL quarterback in my opinion. I think he is a great practice squad guy from what we've seen. I know that it's mean to say he can throw the ball far. He can do that. That is all he can do. I mean, he's Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite? Is that who it was?
No, that's Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is Uncle Rico. That's who he is.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew is Uncle Rico.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like him. So.
You know who I kind of equate him to? Do you remember Jimmer Fredette from BYU?
I do not.
Massive stud in college and then gets the NFL and then does absolutely nothing. I think Zach Wilson is another victim of the eras thing. I really think he is. I think in an earlier era, I think Zach Wilson would have been a lot better than he is. I think this era is a lot harsher on quarterbacks because quarterbacks have to succeed from day one or they're automatically considered a bust. And they don't give players time to develop. They don't. Zach Wilson, or look at Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen got no time.
That's only because they were so bad they got the number 1 pick.
He was in a dumpster fire situation that I don't even think Tom Brady would have succeeded in that offense. He wouldn't.
No, probably not.
No,
probably not. But I think the only reason he didn't get a second chance is they had the number 1 pick. They had to go Kyler. I mean, if it was 20 years earlier, they would have got another chance because there was no team that was going to take Kyler Murray number 1 overall 20 years ago. So
because he's 5'9".
Yeah, tiny for an NFL quarterback. The Jets defense, to go back to that though, I think it's perhaps the top 3 defense in the league.
Yeah.
By a position player, they have everybody. It's just, can they put it together? And the offense has to take the heat off the defense a little bit so they can win the games. And I think they can do that. And then that's all notwithstanding one of the best young running backs in the league in Breece Hall. You probably don't like him because he is talented at catching the ball. But between the tackles, outside the tackles, he's a speed demon. He's elusive. He's fun to watch. And like with everything, injuries do matter. That will be the Achilles heel for the Jets. If 90% of their roster, including Aaron Rodgers, can stay healthy, I think they win that division pretty easily. Because all the other teams lack that one thing, and that is a quarterback that can perform under pressure with great weapons. And that Aaron Rodgers, as long as it's not the NFC Championship game, he can do it. All the way up to the NFC Championship game, he is elite under all circumstances.
I mean, 2014, Aaron Rodgers has something to say about that because Mike McCarthy single-handedly blew that game for the Packers. He did. He got too conservative when they were up, and they just needed to not be stupid. Russell Wilson had 5 interceptions that game, and he said, Mike McCarthy, we're just going to get careless. And then they ended up losing, and the Malcolm Butlers of the world were born.
Hey, I'm not going to complain. I am not going to complain. So,
and one more. What was I going to say about? I don't even know what I was going to say. But I really do think that the Bills are going to be the number 1 team in the AFC East. They still have a top 2, top 3 quarterback in the entire league in Josh Allen. Their receiving core is not as bad as you think. Keon Coleman's a rookie. He's going to be their number 1. They have Curtis Samuel, who's underrated. They have, they signed, what's his name? They have Chase Claypool, Chase Claypool's a bum. They have Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid. Josh Allen's might get 1,000 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns this year. So Josh Allen seriously might get 1,000 rushing yards and 15 touchdowns. He might have more rushing yards than Lamar Jackson this year and Jalen Hurts this year. And that I'm not even joking.
That'll become off of necessity, not because it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I think if your quarterback has to run and he's supposed to be a pass-first quarterback, that's a problem. But we will see what happens.
They also signed MVS too. So
that's a big signing
MVS is a lot better than people think. Yes, he has dropping issues, but we see a guy like Aaron Rodgers made him elite. I think Josh Allen has the ability to make guys
a strong statement there.
not elite, but I think Josh Allen has the same ability that Aaron Rodgers does to make no-name receivers really good. Look, he made Isaiah McKenzie get a big contract with the Colts.
I mean, I wouldn't. It's because Stefon Diggs was there. I mean, everybody's one-on-one. They can. The defenses are just. They don't have to. Who are they going to look at on that offense and be like, we might have to double cover them a few plays every single drive?
James Cook.
Whoa. Like, I don't know. There's nothing on that offense that's screaming, watch out. Kincaid is supposed to be something super great, but the one thing I will say is tight ends outside of just a couple over the last 20 years, a lot of teams let them kind of eat them up, and as long as they don't get those big plays, they're fine with Travis Kelce getting 10 catches, 100 yards, and just slowly like doing that, because everything else on the offense they can try and control. But we will see. I don't know. I'm not excited about this.
I just think the dog is barking.
That's okay.
Guys, what's it called? I do think Keon Coleman is the big X factor. He's never played an NFL game, so I think that he could be the wild card into. He could be the next Jamar Chase. He could be the next Justin Jefferson. We don't know. We really don't know. I am a believer in Keon Coleman. I think that he is a goofball, but sometimes goofballs end up being amazing players, aka Rob Gronkowski, the biggest goofball in NFL history, unquestionably the greatest tight end of all time. Unquestionably, and it's not even close. Travis Kelce, greatest tight end of all time, fans, get the hell out of here. Not even close. Gronk has 4 Super Bowls, all 4 with Tom Brady, one with Tampa, 3 with New England. People forget how good peak Gronk was. And he's a goofball, Keon Coleman is, but sometimes goofballs succeed. And Keon Coleman is the X factor. We know what we're going to get with guys like MVS. We know what we're going to get with Chase Claypool, with Curtis Samuel.
Nothing.
Curtis Samuel could be explosive. He's just hurt a lot. And if Curtis Samuel can be anything, if Curtis Samuel's healthy, I think we see a scenario where he gets 1,000 to 1,100 yards this year.
No, just no.
And I think Keon Coleman is going to be the best receiver in this draft class, not a Marvin Harrison.
No.
And Adonai Mitchell. Because we have to put that out there. Speak good things about Adonai Mitchell.
No.
Adonai Mitchell's going to be an all-pro for the Colts.
Yeah, we'll get into the rookie class at some point.
We'll also get into the Colts at the last division.
Yeah, the last episode. 4th place, AR5 and Indianapolis Colts. But yeah, I don't even know what the Bills are going to suck. I'm just convinced. Maybe it's because I'm a Patriots fan slightly, mostly Tom Brady. But either way, I've seen the scenario where the Bills don't have wide receivers, they fall apart. It's just what I truly believe is going to happen. We can now get into the all AFC East team. Yeah, we obviously know who your quarterback is probably going to be as a mistake, but we're going to be switching off here, picking our teams. We'll be putting it into Madden. I believe we'll be putting that on TikTok, and I'm going to try and find a way to also create one for YouTube. I bought a capture card, but we'll get to that later. That'll be a separate little thing here, but either way, this will be the team we are creating. We'll let the TikTok Bayless go first because he's going to make a lot of mistakes, and that's going to be great for me.
So, QB1, Josh Allen. Josh Allen is he's still a top 5 quarterback in the league. If you have this receiving core that the AFC East has, are you going to want Aaron Rodgers or are you going to want Josh Allen?
I want Aaron Rodgers every time. More accurate, smarter with the football, less turnovers. Aaron Rodgers every day.
Aren't you a Brett Favre guy? Didn't Brett Favre do exactly the same shit that Josh Allen does? And isn't Brett Favre a 3-time MVP? Isn't Brett Favre a 3-time MVP and a Super Bowl champion?
Has Josh Allen won 3 MVPs yet and a Super Bowl? No.
No, because he plays in the same era as Patrick Mid-Holmes. He plays in the same era as Patrick Mid-Holmes.
Hey, it doesn't matter.
Just like Peyton got
Brett Favre
screwed by
played
Tom
against
Brady.
Steve Young, played against Dan Marino. He played against elite guys. So it took Brett Favre 5 years. Josh Allen passed 5 years, didn't get it done. That is what it is. He's
Brett
like
Favre
a
is
broke
arguably the best quarterback of his generation, though. There's a legit argument for Brett Favre being the best quarterback from 92 to like 06. There's a legit argument there.
From 95 to 05, that decade, I would give it to Brett Favre.
He's unquestionably the best quarterback in the league. There was nobody touching Brett Favre in that 10-year span.
Yeah, Josh Allen is what? Probably down to third right now. I mean, can you statistically? I think Lamar Jackson, those MVPs, he's better from an analytic standpoint.
Lamar Jackson had 19 passing touchdowns last year. 19.
We've seen him throw 37 touchdowns and way less interceptions. We've seen him run for a lot more yards. His team wins with way less weapons than Stefon Diggs.
I mean, Josh Allen ran less because they had more of a running game. Now, he's going to have to. He might win MVP solely off the fact of his rushing this year.
We'll see. All I know is Lamar has 2 of those in his trophy case. And they both have the same amount of Super Bowl rings.
And Josh Allen has more playoff wins.
Does he have that many more? I bet it's pretty close.
Lamar has 3. Josh Allen has like 4 or 5 already.
4? Yeah. So 2 MVPs and 1 more playoff or loss doesn't matter to me.
Josh Allen also 3 years in a row had to deal with Kansas City. Lamar's had to deal with Kansas City once in the playoffs.
Hey, you don't get to pick and choose.
And the last 3 matchups against the Kansas City, I think Josh Allen outdueled Patrick Mahomes. He did.
You can say what you want. All I know is that Patrick Mahomes has MVPs and Super Bowls. Lamar Jackson has MVPs. Josh Allen has a cool little golf ball that Tom Brady gave him, showing him what a Lombardi trophy is supposed to look like. So, running back, Mr. TikTok Bayless.
I have running back 1. I think I have Raheem Mostert. I really think I do. I think he's a super underrated running back, and I think he is the best running back in this division because Breece Hall has injury issues. James Cook is still not ready yet to take the crown of best running back in the AFC.
I'm going Breece every day, all day. Breece, just more all-around skilled. And if we're talking about injury problems, you can't say Breece Hall has injury problems and Mr. Mustard over there doesn't. So you can pick a wide receiver.
I actually forgot to add some positions last week, so I added the fullback and I went Alec Ingold. Okay. I don't know if you went that far and did research. I researched the fullbacks, and there was really only 2 that I would even think about putting here because the Patriots don't have a great fullback anymore. And the other one was Reggie Gilliam, and I still think Alec Ingold is better than Reggie Gilliam. But my receiver 1, I went with the unquestionable best receiver in this division, arguably a top 2 or 3 receiver in the NFL, in Tyreek Hill. I think it's the only obvious choice to have Tyreek Hill as your number 1 receiver in this division.
Yeah, I'll have to take Waddle. That would be my next choice here. And
I didn't do that. I went Garrett Wilson as my second receiver in the AFC East. This division might have, talent-wise, the most loaded talent in the entire NFL if you were to do an all-division team.
I think it'll be the NFC North, but we will find out.
It's insane. Like this, the top 2 quarterbacks are arguably top 5 quarterbacks in the entire league in this division. 2 of the 5 best quarterbacks are arguably in this division.
No, that's true. My wide receiver 2, I'd have to take Mike Williams. I know injury prone, but when he's playing,
oh, okay, you're a wide receiver 2. Okay,
yeah, super talented. Who it is. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get injured again this season. That's what's going to happen. But talent-wise, going to get the ball, I think that would be the best option there. So
I have
1 more wide receiver from you.
I have Odell. I went with Odell Beckham. I did. I think that if you look at, he's still better than any option on the Bills because we can't put rookies, or else I would have put Keon Coleman over Odell. But Odell does have injury issues, but we've seen Odell at his peak. Odell was fantastic for a span. He hit like 1,000 yards for like 6 straight years or something. It was
Yes.
nuts. He was so good, and then injuries derailed his career. But I think he can still contribute, especially as the number 3 receiver, which he's going to be in Miami. So
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go with Jalen Reagor here. I'm totally kidding. I am kidding, everybody. Demario Douglas, I think it's the only option left.
Okay.
I don't think there's another option worth even thinking about. Demario Douglas is
Curtis Samuel? Demario Douglas is underrated. I like Demario Douglas.
I think he is underrated too. We will see what happens this season. I need him to ball out. So we got tight end for the TikTok Bayless.
I think everybody knows who my tight end won because I talked about it earlier. I think Hunter Henry is the unquestionable tight end one in this position because this might be the weakest tight end division in the entire league. Hunter Henry, if Hunter Henry is the best tight end in your division, you have a problem. You have a problem. Hunter Henry is good.
He has had great times, but yeah, he's fallen off from what he was
7 years ago with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, I mean, he had one season in New England that was decent, but Jonnu Smith, no. Dawson Knox, no. It had to be Dalton Kincaid. And this is more just hopeful going forward. He showed flashes last year, but he wasn't the all-pro everybody was hoping he'd be right away. That's just kind of where it is. So a little disappointed about that, but I think with Aaron Rodgers, everything will be fine. So what do you have next, Mr. TikTok Bayless?
For my second tight end, I went with Tyler Conklin because I can't pick Dalton Kincaid because you took that one from me. So I think Tyler Conklin is insanely underrated. Tyler Conklin finished as the top 15 tight end in fantasy last year, and it's the third highest tight end finish amongst all AFC East players last year. He finished ahead of Dawson Knox. The only two he didn't finish ahead of is Dalton Kincaid and Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry was the top fantasy tight end in the AFC East last year. Dalton Kincaid was too. So
yeah, I will unfortunately have to take Dawson Knox here. Dawson Knox. I do not think I really want to touch. Is it Jonnu Smith or
Jonnu Smith? What?
No, Smythe, Durham Smythe. Yeah, I think
Jonnu Smith
the other options.
Pittsburgh
I don't really want them,
Smith.
so I'll take Dawson Knox. And God, I hate Josh Allen. Instead, I'm taking Jonnu Smith. I'm taking Jonnu Smith.
I thought Jonnu Smith was in
He's in Miami.
Pittsburgh with Arthur Smith.
No, I'm positive Jonnu's in Miami. Let me look. Yeah, Jonnu Smith. He's tight end 1 in Miami.
Oh, I don't know why I thought he was in Pittsburgh. I don't even know why.
Oh yeah, Durham.
Oh yeah.
Smythe.
I'm taking Dawson Knox over Jonnu Smith any day.
I would normally too, but I talked about how Josh Allen has no weapons. I have to follow through with it. Taking Kincaid was just a desperation move there. Yeah. So O-line is a group. Do you have a group that you prefer?
Let me see, because I have a good mix. I think I have 2 Dolphins, I have 2 Jets, and then I have a Patriot as my starting.
Okay.
I have Tyron Smith, Elijah Vera Tucker, David Andrews, Isaiah Wynn, and Teron Armstead as my starting O-line. So that's 2 Jets, 2 Patriots, or 2 Jets, 2 Dolphins, and a Patriot. So you have your pick. I guess I'll go with the Jets only because I think their offensive line is slightly better. So I'll go. That's what I'll say. I think the Jets O-line.
I think they're the most improved. I like Isaiah Wynn. I'm gonna go Miami. I think if New England didn't get rid of Brown, I probably would have went there, but I'm not gonna be an idiot too much.
Do you know what team Trent Brown signed with? I was doing my research and I thought Trent Brown was still a Patriot. He's not.
Kansas City?
No, he's a Bengal.
Oh, I did know that.
Protecting Joe Burrow.
I was getting in a TikTok fight with somebody, and they talked about how Brown was going to make it so Joe Burrow would never be hit again. Blah blah blah. And I just said that's not how it works. But we have a defensive group or defensive team. I'm hoping you make a big mistake here, but I don't think you will.
Let me see. I'm trying to add up because I did each individual player. I went with like a full
Okay.
team. Let me see. One. I think I only have one or two Dolphins on this list.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
it's Jalen Ramsey. That's
I had I think I had Jalen Phillips starting for one of my. No, I didn't. I didn't. I think New England's the best defense. New England's the best defense.
okay.
I think.
That's who you want. I'll take the Jets. I would have taken New England, but I'll take the Jets. I will say that I think Miami is slightly underrated. They have Shaq Barrett. They have Bradley Chubb. They have
Bradley Chubb is hurt. So is Jalen Phillips. They may not play this year because of ACL tears.
they should be coming back, right?
I don't know. They were still listed as injured for me when I was doing my research.
Javon Holland, Jalen Ramsey. So I feel like they have decent, but it's not anything like those two. And the Bills gutted. I don't know. I'm not excited about anything going on with the Bills defense.
I have the Bills. I have a Bill in my top 5 corners thing on here.
Which court?
Rasul Douglas.
Well, I feel like that's like reaching a little bit at this point. We saw him be very good and not be very good. But if he's on, I guess he when he is on, he is on. So
do you know what team Jordan Poyer plays for?
I have no clue off the top
He's
of
a
my head.
Dolphin. He is a Dolphin. He is their starting strong safety. So I was really surprised doing my research. I said, "Oh my God, Jordan Poyer is in the same division as Buffalo, but he's not a Bill right now," which is surprising to me. I didn't think that he would.
No, yeah. Looking at the Bills' defense, I mean, you have Ed Oliver, which I do think he's pretty good. Vaughn at this point, he is a shell of himself. Milano,
I chose Von Miller because I know he's good in Madden. That's literally the only reason why I should put Von Miller on this list.
otherwise, yeah, I don't think Greg Rousseau. Yeah, like I don't know, there would be nothing there I'd be super excited about.
I have Greg Rousseau as my starting left end on this team, on this an AFC East team. I do.
Really?
Yeah, I have him because look at the other options. My second option was Jermaine Johnson because I'm not really a believer in the Jets DNs or no, I have Hassan Reddick. He's a right end, so I can't. I have Greg Rousseau and Hassan Reddick, and then I have Christian Barmore as a right end, even though he's technically a D tackle because they play a 3-4 defense. He's an end, so he's a bigger D end. He's too small to play nose tackle for the Patriots. So
No, yeah, that's true. So no, that's fair. I guess when I'm thinking about edge rushers, I kind of put edge and left ends kind of together in that mix, kind of how I'd view them.
they
But
technically are 4-3 defenses. Edges are usually the DNs, and edges and 3-4 defenses are usually outside linebackers. So
yeah,
or Will or Sam linebackers. So
yeah.
that's
So
technically what they
I
are.
don't know. There's a few. I guess I don't. I'm guessing Judon is listed as an outside linebacker.
He is. I have him as my left outside linebacker, followed by Jalen Phillips. And then on my right outside, because the Bills run a 4-3, I have Matt Milano.
Milano, I think he's actually pretty good.
Milano's might be the best linebacker in this division. If you were playing a 3-4, you obviously put him middle linebacker. But in a 4-3, I have him as the. I also have Bradley Chubb as my right outside linebacker too. And then I have Josh Uche because I couldn't leave Josh Uche off the list. So
I mean, I would have left him off, but hey.
There are some positions I took liberties because I had to put 4 strong safeties because it's Kyle Duggar, Jordan Poyer, Chuck Clark, and Taylor Rapp. I have those 4. Those are the 4 starting strong safeties, so I had to put them all on there.
I mean, you wouldn't just put DeMar on there for surviving?
If this was the all coming back from death team, he would be the MVP. But DeMar Hamlin doesn't. He had one tackle last year, so I think he can be left off this list.
Well, that's fair.
And then I have my. I don't know if he did special teams too, but I did. I did kicker and punter.
You can add him on there.
I did Greg the Leg. I think Greg the Leg is the best kicker in this division, and then I have Jake Bailey, the Dolphins punter. So, and then head coach, I have Sean McDermott because Gerard Mayo's unproven. I am not a believer in Mike McDaniel at all. I think he's a phony. I think he's a bum. And then the Jets, Robert Saleh has too many question marks. So
I would pick Mike above all of them, but that's just because that offense is fun to watch. He's entertaining. I mean, if he comes up on one of the things, a TikTok video, I'm going to watch the whole thing to see what he does or says. See if
he's going to off anything he has to say. I think he's a dick. I hate him so much.
I mean, that's why I like him. But I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. We'll let the TikTok Bayless sign us out here. And
yes, this was a fun podcast. As always, I have fun doing these. This is my favorite time of the week. I always look forward to Friday night or Saturday night when we get to record these. You guys know where to follow me. I'll start doing this. Well, if you don't, I am the TikTok Bayless on TikTok. I also have another TikTok, Bryce Official, BRYCE Official. I'm on TikTok or Twitter or X now as BShodel14. Instagram, I think it's Bryce Official. I will be live streaming. Well, this is after I'm live streaming, but I'm live streaming WWE's Clash of the Castle pay-per-view tomorrow morning. Or if you're listening to this, you might be too late. 9:45 in the morning. So everybody listening to this podcast when it comes out, you've already missed it. Don't try to follow my live stream because I'm not going to be live streaming on Wednesday or Thursday when this comes out. Other than that, House of the Dragon comes out June 16th. I don't know if you're a Game of Thrones fan, but House of the Dragon comes out June 16th, Sunday. I am Team Targaryen all the way. Team Rhaenyra, that's the only one it's got to be. Wow, we just evolved into something totally not sports related to end this podcast. I'm going on a weird tangent. I'm going to stop. Probably because I've had a few gin and juices already. Oh my God, I need to stop.
We're going to have so much extra stuff for like when one of us is sick and can't do this. We're just going to have a Maj Podge up for a week.
I know. Yeah,
like, what the fuck did he say? I'm just going to have it go Team Targaryen, and then it's going to go fuck John Elway, and then it's going to go
Mike McDaniel's a dick.
Yeah. I live stream and then have it be like 6 months later. Like, oh, what was this? What did you call it? King of the Clash or whatever? And people would go like, oh, that was like 6 months ago. Why did he just say this? Well, I'm just...
As always, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share it, do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. But if you don't like our sports takes, you can just mind your business.
Thank you, everybody.
See you guys next week. I don't know what this podcast evolved into. It was just madness towards the end.
But hey, it's fun.
It's fun. But we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
See you later.